What's going on, everyone? I have some fantastic news for you. You lot are always giving us your opinion in the comments, and we love to read it. But now, guess what? You can be on the club. That's right. You are going to be on the club. We are starting a brand new call-in show. All thanks to Sky Bet, and we really do want your opinions. Whether you agree, whether you disagree, it's all about the conversation, and we really do want you on the show. So it's time for you to shine, and we're going to have the debate. Click the link to join our Discord for more information. Any topic, any opinion, we really do want to hear from you. The Club Call-In Show, coming very, very soon. Click the link to join our discourse for more information.
Discord.
Discord?
Yeah, Discord.
Do you know the word is discourse? Feels like a made-up word. Stupid.
Right, lads, let's talk about an Arsenal and Manchester United Premier League era combined 11. This is going to be very, very juicy. What are we doing? 4-4-2, 4-3-3?
I'm open to... I can squeeze some of my best players into either formation, so...
I'd say...
Mate, well, this is the thing about being a good manager. You should be able to be a little bit
I've already
fluid.
had, like, a think to what my forward line would be, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a 4-3-3.
Booth, we should decide. We should decide.
But on our best eras come with a 4-4-2.
It's true.
Yeah, 4-4-2.
4-4-2.
Oh.
Yeah.
4-4-2.
Oh.
Look,
Yeah.
he's struggling already.
I'm not struggling.
Struggling. My
It's
money's
fine.
on Circus here.
Yeah, I agree, actually.
Okay, let's get into it. If you two both maybe make a case per position, unless you agree, Buvey and I can be
There's
the
some
arbiter.
positions which are, you know...
Yeah, some are. There's very
Go
little
without
debate
saying.
about certain positions.
Yeah.
Who do you have? Do you have Seaman or Lehman?
Seaman.
Seaman over Lehman.
Longevity, yeah. But obviously Lehman came in 49 undefeated. First
But
49 games,
Seaman over Lehman.
Seaman, yeah.
Is he the best? Would he be the best goalkeeper for Arsenal in Premier League era, David Seaman?
100%.
And for you,
I'd
hard
go
for you,
Van der
'cause there's two, isn't
Sar,
there?
but...
What do you think Van der Sar's better than Schmeichel?
I think Peter Schmeichel might be the greatest Premier League goalkeeper ever, but
I agree with that.
he also cartwheeled against Manchester United for Man City. And
See,
that really...
pettiness.
that really
Pettiness.
forgot about
I rate it. I rate it highly. I love the pettiness.
Edwin van der Sar
Didn't do that. Therefore,
kept, I think it was a record amount of clean sheets in
Yeah.
a row. He was unreal. Obviously won the European Cup as well.
and didn't
obviously-
cartwheel.
And
Crucial.
he didn't cartwheel against us.
Crucially, he didn't cartwheel.
Seaman played for them as well, actually.
Yeah, retired at Man City.
Both of them.
But did he cartwheel
Robbie didn't know
against
that, you know.
Nah.
He didn't know that. You didn't know that Seaman retired at Man City.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's one of those transfers that you could
I think
easily
it has to be
forget.
Schmeichel, innit? Take your pettiness out of it, man. It has
No,
to be
it's Van der Sar, man.
Schmeichel.
But if you're putting Van der Sar on the table, you could be doing yourself a mischief here.
Van der Sar
Because
wins still.
is Van der Sar definitely better than Dave Seaman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'd have to agree.
Way better.
Okay.
Multiple European Cups,
I'd
etc.
have to agree.
So you're going Van der Sar?
Van der Sar.
Okay, so Van der Sar is a goalie.
Sorry.
So I'm surprised. I would have said
I'm sorry,
Schmeichel.
but not
I would've
sorry,
said
Pete.
Schmeichel, but
Yeah.
You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have cartwheeled.
Yeah, no, I like that. You've got to rate
pettiness.
the pettiness. No, pettiness is the lifeblood of football. Fair play. Okay, let's go to left back. There's only one
Oh,
winner
it's-
here, isn't there?
Before
Is
we
he
get to that-
going to do the pettiness back? Nigel Winterburn.
Are you going to let me get Dennis Irwin in here?
He's going to go, well, obviously Gail Clichy.
I was about to go. Let me talk about Dennis Irwin before we inevitably put Ashley Cole
But
in.
maybe-
But let me go over to Turkish first.
Nah, it hurts. It hurts, but you do have to put Ashley Cole in
Yeah,
there
fair.
because he's invincible. You know, even if it's
Has he
just
got a
that.
mural?
Nah, probably never
Should have one
happened.
though, right?
If he has, when he'll be gone
Do you think
within 10 minutes.
has the hatred died down a bit?
Not on my part. Not on my part.
No,
Does, does he ever go back to the Emirates or anything like that? No. I say go back. He never played at the
No,
Emirates.
no, no. I know he's talked about it recently and the reasons why, and you know the sob stories and all of that.
Yeah, but I don't blame him. A lot of Arsenal players have had to leave Arsenal to win European silverware. You look at Thierry Henry going
went
to
to Chelsea.
Barcelona. Yeah, a lot of players
Won
had to
European
leave
silverware.
Arsenal.
It was a risk at the time, but
Well,
it
it was
turned out to
Chelsea.
be. It turned out.
No, it was an amazing. It was an
Is he a
amazing.
Chelsea
transfer.
fan? Is
No,
Ashley
he's an
Cole-
Arsenal fan. He's from Stepney.
No, but if you said to him now, not when he was a kid.
No, now he's a Chelsea fan. Yeah.
So now
No,
he wakes up as a I'm a Chelsea
now
man.
he's Chelsea. He's like linked with Lampard. He's been working with Lampard. Like he's very Chelsea now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that he's like interwoven into Chelsea history now. But I do love that story because I remember there was a time when Arsenal fans at the time were telling me that 5 million plus Gallas, they got the better deal. They were trying to convince me that Gail Clichy was a better left back. Like there was genuinely a swathe of Arsenal fans that thought they'd done quite well out of that deal. They don't think it now.
Bigger than a swathe, I'll tell you that. I remember them.
Yeah, there was a lot, wasn't there?
Right, yeah.
I remember you coming to the Stamford Bridge once. Do you know what they did, Arsenal? They had good support at one point, right?
At one point.
They came with... I'm not joking. They were everywhere. Whoever sorted it out must have spent a fortune and printed out 1 billion of them. £50 notes with Ashley Cole's face on it. They were on the pitch. They were, you know, when you're like walking out of the stadium, they were everywhere. Everyone.
Is that because the conversation leaked of him saying
Swerved off the road.
they won't give me $5,000?
Swerved
It was
off
in
the
his
road.
autobiography.
The phrase was swerved off the road. He went. They offered me $50,000 a week, and I nearly swerved off the road.
That was it, and he wanted $5,000 more.
No, we agreed with him 55. Then when the contract came, it said 50. And that was the beginning of the end.
But the reason why it was so poorly written from him and so poorly received from the public is because he basically reacted. I nearly swerved my car off the road.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of news. Like
Back
if
then
I
it
got
sounded
news,
bad.
if I got
Yeah.
news to like crash my car, it's not someone offering me £50,000 a week.
In 2004 as well?
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
Back then it was nasty stuff because it was all new money. It felt like new money, $50,000 a week for a footballer. If we had that discussion now, Haaland doesn't join Man City because Real Madrid offer $20,000 more. We'd understand it a bit more. There's a lot, doesn't it, about
Yeah.
the time, the time and the place.
Also,
Yeah.
I think clubs kind of, you know, when you're an academy graduate, and I include Man United in this, I've seen it over the years. When you're an academy graduate, they think you just accept less. Like, oh, you want to be here, right?
Yeah.
Like, I remember messing Wes Brown around over a contract. I don't know why that sticks in my head.
How does it change Arsenal's trajectory if you keep him and then how does it
affect Chelsea's trajectory?
Is it a 10 out of 10 like major
I think
error?
it's a sliding doors moment in football. It's
wow.
a Gwyneth Paltrow
We was
moment.
always
No one
destined.
talks about it like that because
We
maybe
was
he's a
destined.
left back or whatever, but it does change both clubs'
100%.
fortunes.
I don't think it changes ours. I think it's inevitable because it happened to Nasri, happened to Adebayo, happened to Fabregas.
Well, he
it
goes
happened to
eventually anyway.
multiple players. following
Do you know?
because
Do you
it
know
was
what,
just the era
Turkish? I
we were-
disagree with
interested.
you, mate. I honestly think if you trace the timeline of Chelsea versus Arsenal, take it from when we were children, when Arsenal were here and Chelsea were here.
Yeah.
Chelsea went 25 years without a trophy. Arsenal winning doubles regularly, winning the league title regularly. It was like this. Do you know as the chasm got smaller? One of the significant moments in the shift of power became like Wayne Bridges' moment. Wayne Bridge scoring in front of the clock end. That was a moment. That was a signifier. Ashley Cole choosing Chelsea over Arsenal was a signifier. Previously, when we signed Arsenal players, for example, David Rocastle, we signed him at the tail end of his career. We didn't take one of their youth product. It was symbolic. And I do think that it's more significant than perhaps...
No, everything you've said is right. But all I'm saying is, if Cole stayed at Arsenal, you lot would have still gone on to win what you're going to win, and Arsenal would have still fallen off because of the
What if they get a dodgy
we were
left
going
back?
into an Emirates era where we're selling all of our players. They were going into the Roman era.
That's
So
true.
Ashley
That's
Cole ain't going to
maybe.
change, even though the best left
But
back
he's
in
so
the Premier
good, he
League
gave
and-
them 10 years of
course,
success.
and that's
he
what
made them the
hurt.
best club in England for 10 years.
I was at the
Do you know what I
baton
mean?
being passed. You're right in that sense.
That's
It
interesting.
felt like I remember we had it a bit with Liverpool when we signed Torres. I know it didn't work out anywhere close to Cole, but when we signed Torres from Liverpool, I remember going, "This is historic." Like Chelsea don't take Liverpool's best player. In the end, they won, but Ashley Cole was that. But it was that, but on speed because it was one of their youth products
It's also, you were like
and the best player in the world in his position.
Not only were you nicking Arsenal as one of Arsenal's best players, you were like, United were about to make signings and you just went in and took them.
Yeah, Obi McKola.
You did that a lot.
Yeah.
Essien,
Yeah.
Robin.
Yeah,
they were all
Robin,
at Carrington.
Robin, absolutely. Yeah.
They were all at Carrington ready.
But so it is actually Cole. Do you want to have a
give some
moment for
flowers
Dennis Irwin?
100%.
Like one of the best left backs the
100%.
Premier League's ever
Fullback.
seen. Right-footed left back, one of the best fullbacks the Premier League's ever seen. Goals he'd get, assists he'd get, could play football. He was just an unreal
Free
player.
kicks, penalties.
And the only reason is Ashley Cole was, without doubt, one of the best players in his position for his whole career. That's the only thing that changes it.
Yeah.
Because Dennis Irwin was the
Yeah,
It's close, but people aren't understanding this. Irwin was a very, very, very good footballer.
He was.
played ball as well.
But I think if you're comparing Ashley Cole to other footballers, I mean this with all due respect to Owen, because I agree with everything Adam just said there, but you need to be comparing Ashley Cole not really to other left backs that have played Premier League football. You're comparing him to the very best who have ever played it
Yeah, I get
in the world. Like, if you want to talk about Ashley Cole versus other fullbacks, I need to hear you mention Philip Lahm and Roberto Carlos.
Then
far
Ferguson
more
says
than
Dennis Irwin's the first name on the team sheet for an all-time Man United 11.
Yeah.
That's what he says about. So that's for Man
That's
United.
what he says about Cole. Yeah, yeah.
Is that
But that also
amazing?
Yeah.
that reflects on, obviously Evra was great, but it reflects on who else was available.
Yeah,
at
of
left
course.
back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So far it's 1-1. Should we do the other fullback position and then get into centre half pairings?
G Nev, innit?
Gary Neville versus who's your contender
Lauren?
here?
Gary Neville's got the longevity. I honestly, I think Lauren and Lee Dixon were better fullbacks than Gary, but Gary had the longevity, he had the consistency, he had the titles, he had the chemistry with Beckham for all those and so on. And I guess that edges it to him.
Do you
But I
actually think
as
Lauren-
as a player, Lauren was.
I don't think I'd
African Cup
take
of
the
Nations
Lauren
player of the
shout, but I
tournament
wouldn't
as
take
well,
Lee
and
Dixon. You know,
Lee Dixon was cold.
because I think
Yeah,
Gary
Lee
Neville
Dixon was
gets
better than
overlooked
Gary
for what he could do in terms of the reason his podcast called The Overlap is because he did that so well.
Yeah, he
and
did,
like his crosses into the box weren't bad either. Like he was.
I
a
didn't
very
realise
good-
that. Is that why overlap's called overlap?
Yeah.
That didn't fucking make
Because
sense.
he used to overlap Beckham, innit?
Every day's a
Pissed
school
me off
day, eh?
overlapping all the time.
What about just to play a quick game with you, Turkey? Say you were doing an Arsenal all-time 11,
Yeah.
and you had to do this without the intrusion of Man United. Are you going Lauren or Dixon for your all-time Arsenal, or for your Premier League era Arsenal at least?
This is going to be controversial to the Arsenal OGs, but I'll go Lauren at edges.
Do you think a lot of Arsenal fans would say Dixon over Lauren, though?
100%, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and
So
I
he's
wouldn't,
really
I
holding
wouldn't
high
argue
regard,
against
Dixon.
that, but I just think Lauren over those 4 years, 2 titles, a couple FA Cups, African Cup of Nations, I think it was player of the tournament or man of the match in the final. And
Right.
he just had something about him. You know, he was never a natural fullback. He got put there. And it was one of the ones that go under the radar with Wenger. Obviously, he moved Henry from the wing to here and other players. But Lauren being put at fullback, he only had a couple. I think he scored an own goal against Man City one season. If I don't, was it against? Yeah, against Man City. But aside from that, Lauren,
Dixon's got an amazing
edges
own goal, one of the best own goals ever. Dixon's one.
Does it mean
The
lob
chip.
the keeper?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's truly brilliant.
Yeah, unfortunate. But
okay,
yeah,
so-
just edges it for me.
So it's Neville or Lauren. Buvey?
It's Gary, isn't it?
It's Gary Neville.
Okay, Gary Neville, I agree. Okay, now this is where it's going to get really messy. Centre halves, Adam, chat, because I don't know how you're going to do this.
Let me ask Adam first. Before we get into names, do you think it's 1-1 in centre backs? Do you think it's 2 for you? Like, how do you see it before?
It
we get
depends.
names?
I could make an argument for Rio, Vidic, Stam above
Bruce.
any Premier League era centre back. Like I genuinely could, but I also understand the greatness of Tony Adams, Sol Campbell.
Yeah.
Have I missed out anyone obvious?
No, that's the 2 that's in.
Like they are obviously great centre backs.
Saliba, a lot of Arsenal fans, I know. So no, I'm not saying that, but
Mate, you'd
Arsenal
have
fans, I
Keown.
talked to Arsenal fans about it ahead of the Man City game as well, and they say Saliba's already at the level
They're the young
of
guns,
that.
man.
I think people forget.
You hear
how good
it,
Martin
you hear a lot
Keown-
of
I
it.
think people forget how good Martin
Keown was good
Like,
centre-back,
Martin
yeah.
Keown was linked with Man. Like Fergie tried to sign Martin Keown for 2 years.
Very good. Bold,
Really good
bold.
player.
He's
Kolo
Bold,
Torre doesn't
yeah.
get talked about at all. I know he's not at the same level, but Kolo Torre is part of the
He was like
Invincibles.
invincible. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know
I think
that?
the one
Fergie was like massively after
I didn't
Keown.
know that.
Yeah, 2 years apparently. Like really desperate to sign
what
him.
year was that?
Not sure specifically,
90s,
but I heard
right?
Martin Keown talking about it the other day. He's like, that, I had multiple meetings with them, and the reason that he didn't go there was because they didn't roll the red carpet out for him in the way that he felt like they should have done.
Fucking hell. Unlucky son, you done yourself a mischief. I think Rio's the one that is non-negotiable for me. In my opinion, Rio's the greatest English centre-back ever. I know Rory would have some arguments with that. But he was just, obviously, everyone talks about Rolls Royce of players now, but Rio was the first Rolls Royce off the showroom floor. He made defending look easy. He had pace. He had, a touch. He could pass out from the back. I think when we talk about old school defenders, I think Rio's the one that would not struggle in the new era right now.
Easy, yeah.
Hard to argue against that, man.
No, I don't. I think everything you said is true. I think you've got a really difficult thing to do now, Turkish, because
I actually think their greatest Premier League centre back's not Rio.
Who do you think it is?
Stam. The starting
That
back,
means,
Stam.
but he had 2-3 years in it.
But the 3 years he had, 3 years, 3 titles, treble,
Yeah.
and then we bounced, and then we won the title. Either end of that.
Exactly, yeah.
But
My
yeah,
top two is Rio and Stam.
yeah. And Stam goes under the radar in these conversations a lot. He's never really.
And then
think
you
he
look at
gets
his career
mentioned.
after when he went to AC and everything.
Lazio
Yeah.
as well, wasn't it? Is he Lazio?
He came from Lazio.
Or is he?
No, we sold him to Lazio.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Lazio.
You're right. Sorry.
So for me, obviously, in my opinion, Sol was the better footballer, but Adams was the better leader, the better captain, the better defender.
I think
all
Adams
round.
was an amazing footballer as well, though. I think that
Yeah.
he's seen, that donkey thing, then they stuck him on the front page of the Mirror.
Yeah.
Like they stuck him on the front page of the Mirror when he's like 21 years old with the donkey ears. You know when newspapers were getting 5 million copies sold and all that? So bad.
because he was just
scored an own goal at Old Trafford,
lanky
actually.
and dangly.
Scored an
Yeah,
own goal. He
clunky.
sliced an own goal at Old Trafford.
But he's the only captain to win across 3 different decades, 80s, 90s, and 2000s as captain. Came through the ranks. So I have to bring in Adams. I have to bring
Vidic
in
as well, for me, in terms of, he's the only defender to win 2 Premier League Players of the Year, which I think huge. He was part of that record in terms of, I spoke about Van der Sar earlier and the clean sheets and stuff like that. Obviously won countless Premier League titles, a European Cup. hurt me when he left, the way he left, when he left, because of he was captain, man, and he kind of just agreed a deal mid-season to leave us at the end to Inter, which you can't blame him now in hindsight, but at the moment it did hurt.
Yeah.
But you got, I think Stam's ahead of Vidic, so it depends who you got. They're up against.
I think you both made valiant cases. Do you agree, Booth?
I'd put Campbell ahead of Stam and Vidic, personally.
Adams.
I think not for me.
Campbell isn't ahead of Vidic.
Okay, Campbell.
I mean,
Campbell for a couple of years was unplayable in the same way Stam was. Do you know what I mean? He was unplayable.
Also, Sol Campbell. I remember being a kid and like living it at the time. I genuinely remember thinking that if Sol Campbell was playing for England, England would never get beat. Like I just thought he was immense.
Yeah.
Do you remember how Forrest used to sing about Des Walker? It was like that. I just remember like thinking that Sol Campbell was just immense, impenetrable. You're not scoring a goal if he's there.
Did he have a goal ruled out against Argentina?
Yeah, wrongly ruled out. We would have
Shearer
beaten
didn't foul the guy,
when Beckham in extra time. Argentina in Saint Etienne. Yeah, we played Argentina in Saint Etienne when Beckham got sent off for the Diego Simeone thing, and in extra time with 10 men, Sol Campbell scored a perfectly good goal.
And Sol Campbell was in the team of the tournament Euro 2000 and World Cup 02. Or Euro 2004 and World Cup 9. Yeah. He was in two team of the tournament.
I think he was on 04.
On the international stage.
He was an immense.
The goal against Barcelona was obviously he lost the game, but it was an amazing header, powerful header.
Yeah.
You were with 10 men at the time.
Yeah. But,
Vidic scored a lot of goals.
I think it's very difficult this because I rate both Adams and Campbell so highly that it feels really awkward to leave either of
hard
them
to
out.
leave out Rio, Stam, Campbell, Adams,
Rio's
any
dead
of
cert.
them.
Rio's
Rio's
dead
cert.
Rio's
But
dead
even
cert.
like
No, that's what I mean. I feel like we have to leave out. We have to. I find it slightly easier than everybody else around this table. I think to leave out Stam, just because I think 3 years.
Yeah,
doesn't.
it's a Premier League conversation. It's a Premier League
3
conversation.
years does. I can leave Stam out fairly easy. I find it very difficult. Rio, Adams.
Campbell and Rio has got a higher ceiling, in my opinion.
So Rio is in. Rio's one, and then Buvey. What do you think? If you're putting one forward, Turkish, who's the one? If
Adams.
You're Tony Adams, I'd agree with that. Buvey.
I would have done Rio Ferdinand and Campbell.
I wouldn't have allowed Campbell ahead of Vidic, I'll be honest with you. I'd allow Tony Adams.
Yeah, Tony Adams is Arsenal though as well.
they're Arsenal, yeah.
Like he is. Think about that moment against Everton when he just stands there. It's like that Charlie George. But it's like has that got a mural?
He's got a statue.
Doing that.
Yeah.
You got it.
That left foot volley.
Yeah, that-
Gold he played him through.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What a finish.
Amazing era.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still pretty neck and neck.
So we're doing
midfielders.
4-4-2.
4-4-2. Right.
Rio guaranteed. And who's the other centre back?
Adams.
Adam.
Done. Yeah.
Done Adams. Right.
Right wing.
David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Who though?
I can make an argument for either. Who we
Your
up
team.
against?
It's your team, mate.
This is why I preferred 4-3-3.
To get some more Man United players in there.
No, my front
you haven't got
three in a
you haven't got to choose
4-3-3
between
was,
your parents.
was Henry, Rooney, and Ronaldo. So it wasn't all Man United. Midfield 4, you have to go Cristiano Ronaldo. You look at,
But in a 4-4-2, you have to go Beckham. Surely.
No, Ronaldo's better than
But you look at
In a 4-4-2.
In any way, any position,
You look
any
at
formation.
07-08, there's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
been a player that's done what Cristiano Ronaldo has done ever. Winning the Premier League, European Cup, Ballon d'Or, 40-plus goals. I know in some games we put Rooney out wide and put Ronaldo up front, but Cristiano Ronaldo was a right winger at that stage, and
For you, it would be
He's one of the
Lundberg
best.
as your argument.
Yeah,
would it?
but I concede this one.
Yeah,
I mean,
fine. Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah, we don't need to
Beckham, legends.
Fine, we don't need to debate it too much. We've gone Cristiano Ronaldo on the
I
right
think
wing.
Beckham is very underrated as a footballer.
So do I.
think
hugely
he's-
underrated.
Mate, so do I.
I think he's like a top three in my lifetime English players. Top two.
If I were doing this, I would have gone 4-4-2, Beckham, 4-3-3, Ronaldo.
that's why I wanted 4-3-3, because I could have
You could have
gone
gone both
Beckham in the midfield.
Yeah.
And then, because I think Beckham now, if he plays in the midfield 3.
If Beckham had won that
Yeah,
Ballon
yeah,
d'Or
yeah,
that he
yeah.
deserved, and he deserved it. If Beckham had won that Ballon d'Or that he didn't win when Rivaldo won it, everything's different. Everything is different because people love that Ballon d'Or argument now. People talk about bloody.
That's what it's about now.
Yeah. Okay, so that's easy. Left wing is more tricky.
Or it's probably easier.
Is it? Yeah, go on.
Ryan Giggs.
Perez.
Yeah.
Giggs has the longevity for me.
It's all about longevity with Man
It's
United
not
players,
just
isn't it?
longevity though as well. Come on.
No,
I think that
But
doesn't.
Perez and Giggs in terms of, one season.
Let's say Giggs retired in 2005, we'd still be putting Giggs in this
But
conversation.
we're talking about technical ability on the ball. Perez was close to Giggs. It's not like there's a chasm between Giggs and Perez.
Ryan Giggs scored one of the most
What's his
iconic
highest
goals
scoring
footballers
season?
ever seen.
What's his highest scoring season?
It's
on
one
his
of the
question.
most iconic goals footballers ever seen against Arsenal.
You overhyped that goal a lot.
Whew.
You were,
I agree with that, but I don't.
I that goal a lot.
No, it was a cold
The
goal.
chest
It
there
was a
and all
cold
that, you
goal.
bang
But
on
people
about
say
it a
he
little
beat
bit.
5 man and that. Really,
yeah. You overhyped
he played it
He's
between
one of
two.
Arsenal's
and-
best ever teams.
Yeah. So what? You over. You
And
over.
he
That
ran
sounds
for him
sour.
like a
That
knife.
sounds
You
sour.
gassed about him a
He
bit.
did.
Pires had more technical ability about him.
Giggs' goal
Linking
against
up play,
Juventus was
dribbling with
better
the
than
ball.
that.
Pires, mate, every kid, when I was a kid, everyone wanted to be Robert Pires.
Giggs' goal again. Did you say Perez's goal?
Giggs.
Giggs' goal against Juventus was great. We won
That
3-0.
was- yeah, that was
That was a great
But
goal.
was he a better footballer than Robert Pires in his prime?
Yes.
Was he?
I don't-
Even look when he became a midfielder. It showed you how good of a
Pires-
footballer he
yeah,
was.
but
When he became a
forget how
central
good-
midfielder later on in his...
But we forget
Have
how
you
good Pires is.
It went viral recently. Kids were like clipping up
but you-
Giggs playing against Real Madrid.
Pires
pulling
was
the string.
world class.
Perez was the.
Giggs is better than Pires. Like Pires is amazing. I rate Pires so highly.
What about Sanchez? Alexis Sanchez off the left?
Pires is quite easily part of the best left corridor that's ever existed. Ashley Cole plus Robert Pires plus Thierry Henry running that channel is the best left side football's ever seen. But equally, it's Ryan Giggs.
But Perez was the beginning of the goal scoring winger. He got 14 and 10 in the season, and then I think the next season
Giggs'
again,
numbers
double
were
digits.
yeah, but you're better,
not
than,
great.
you're better than numbers chat.
We're not just
Yeah,
numbers
but,
chat.
But okay, I look at what I saw as a kid. Pires for me had the technical. Everyone wanted to be Pires in school. Everyone wanted to be.
I think they
Pires.
did. Didn't they want to be
No
Henry?
one wanted to be Giggs, knock it down and sprint after the ball.
He weren't knocking it down and sprinting. Sorry, bro. He was dribbling through people. He was dribbling through people.
What about Sanchez?
Did you see the goal? I actually put a goal that that Ryan Giggs scored. I put it in a group. Did you happen to look at it? Where he sort of knocks it over a player. You know, when in the past when we've argued, when we had a Bale versus
Banks,
Giggs chat,
yeah.
and I kind of went, I've never seen him do what you. And I put one in.
Yeah.
It just sort of like you
Ignored
remember the Dele Alli goal when Dele Alli sort of flicked
But I
it
could
over a
put
player
Bale
of
ones
the
in,
Palace.
but
he did that.
No, Giggs is probably better than Pires.
Giggs is
Sanchez
better than Pires.
What about
This-
Sanchez?
But I think Perez
He's better than both of them.
Better than Sanchez by a
What
mile.
about Prime though? Because I think both Prime Perez and Prime Overmars.
That's it's not a longevity debate. Otherwise,
better than
what
I'm not doing
What are we doing? A
longevity.
British museum now? What are we doing? 100,000 year
I've
artifact?
not mentioned
There's no
longevity once.
debate.
You've mentioned longevity.
There is
Fucking
no
Turkish us.
debate. There is honestly, lads. Look, I'm a huge fan of Pires. I understand what he achieved in the game. I understand that he's an Arsenal icon. I understand that he was part of something so special for Arsenal. But he's not better than Ryan Giggs at football.
If he was
He's
better than
not.
Ryan
It
Giggs,
is
they would have
2-2
won
though.
more.
If he was better
It
than
is
I know,
2-2
we've got a
though,
problem.
yeah,
If
we've
he
got
was
a
better than
problem.
The
Ryan
reason Man United won all the
If he was
leagues.
better than Ryan Giggs, Fergie would have signed him.
What about Yap Stam? You just said Yap Stam was the reason you won all the leagues.
Mate, Ryan Giggs.
You're putting words in my mouth now.
This is
Pause.
crazy. Honestly, I don't understand what's happened to Ryan Giggs'
Giggs
legacy.
is so overrated by you two.
I don't have to say nothing
It's
because I know
nostalgia
Rory's got
merchant.
my back.
You
I just
both
don't
got
get it,
VHSs at home. You both got dusty VHSs that you get off every now and then and watch. Giggs is so overrated, lads. He
Mate,
really
I don't
is.
have VHSs anymore. I've got a high-tech
fantastic
mobile
top-
phone.
You talk about
I've
Giggs
got-
if he was like
mate,
top 3 ever in the Premier
5G,
League.
baby.
By the way, if you don't know,
near.
Rory's finally bought a new phone.
Prime Sanchez was better, but I'm not
5K,
going to
I
go
mean.
there.
5K, not G.
Oh, yeah, that's-
No,
yeah.
there is no...
Prime Sanchez was better than
Prime
Giggs.
Sanchez is
wasn't.
definitely better than
shut
Giggs.
He was.
wasn't.
Well, Prime
Sanchez was doing it in a bad Arsenal side as well. He was doing things
If
single-handedly.
he was a better player, he'd be doing it in a good Arsenal side.
Yards out the goal in the FA Cup fight, doing nuts
Sanchez
stuff.
prime is
That's
better.
nuts.
He's not better. Look, Alexis Sanchez.
Is it because you got a
is the
VHS
best
at home? Be
Emirates-
honest, you got a VHS at home, dusty VHS.
Alexis
Is that what it
Sanchez is the best Emirates
Top
era
50
Arsenal
goals
player,
from
maybe.
1988 or
But he's
whatever
not
it is.
better than Ryan Giggs winning 13 league titles.
Yeah, but you're talking about longevity. We've agreed we're not
No, I'm
going to
not
do
talking
that.
about
We've all agreed.
longevity. You can't hold it against
Hazard or Giggs? Remember the
Oh.
13 league?
I don't think you can argue with 13 league titles.
So you don't think Hazard's better than Giggs?
Amazing.
Hazard
Also,
or Giggs?
you don't remember Giggs from like
You can't bring this up. No, because you've done
between
this before. and
93
it's
to
so boring.
97, 98, where he
I'm
was...
only 6
where
years
he was-
younger than you.
No, I know, but
You're not allowed to talk about... Okay, I'm not allowed to talk about Maradona then.
But that's not what I said. I
Yeah.
said you don't remember Giggs when he was running through defences like that.
Yeah.
What you remember Giggs as when he lost a bit of his legs, he was a bit more of a holding midfielder.
defences back
and
then,
he
they
just
were
sat
wearing
there
umbrella
spraying back.
basics.
But
and
over
the
them
mad
years,
pitches.
wasn't Kanchelskis the better winger though?
Kanchelskis was a good winner, but he sold him in 95.
Yeah, but I remember he was the.
Fine.
He was, but
It's-
the
it's-
early
it's-
90s.
Kanchelskis-
Yeah, no, I don't deny Giggs during that era was mad, but Kanchelskis
Can I
even had
ask you a
that.
question?
Rory, is Hazard better?
Hazard's not better.
You can't argue with 13 league titles.
Hazard's better than...
You can't argue with 13
Okay,
league
take that away.
You can't take it away. You're taking away his 13 league
One
titles.
game, who'd you rather have, Hazard or Giggs?
At what? Doing what?
One game Champions League final.
Ryan Giggs.
I lean more towards this because if we start
One
saying
game,
13
prime.
Champions
Both
League final.
injury-free, Champions League final, Team X.
Who
you
won
have
more
Hazard
Champions
on the
League?
side or
you
Giggs.
kind of seem you kind of seem to suggest, like, I haven't brought up the longevity argument once, but I'm going to do it right now because you all seem to say he's only in this chat because of longevity. There's a reason you survive at that Manchester United being their main left winger for so long when they're a team that are
Yeah,
winning
of course.
everything
Well,
every
mate,
single
his
year.
head was top level
Alex,
doing
Sir
yoga,
Alex Ferguson,
fantastic.
Sir Alex Ferguson was able to go and buy the very best from all other clubs, right? He was able to do that.
Yeah.
And he never ever tried to buy a new left winger.
Yeah.
He never ever tried. He never tried to replace Ryan Giggs because they were buying
Same
the
with
very
Gary
best.
Neville. Gary Neville wasn't the best right back in world football at any stage in his career, was he? Cafu was better and Philip Lahm a little bit later after
No,
that.
I think Gary Neville was the very best in his position.
Gary Neville was never the best right back.
What,
in
when
world
Man United won a treble, Gary Neville wasn't the best right back that year.
football. No, Cafu would have been better.
Turan was.
But mate,
Turan was better.
When you say Turan was getting bullied by Wayne Rooney,
No, that was in 2004.
98.
That was 2004.
look,
That was 2000. That was 6 years later.
I don't think that you can. You know, when you go Cafu was better. I'm going to be frank with you. I don't know if that's true. I don't know who Cafu was playing for in 1999. Do you?
Rom.
Yeah, Roma.
No, look, you fucking come on, mate.
I'm trying to.
Don't do that for him. And also, it could well be.
Or AC Milan.
So you know when you say Cafu was better, you're saying that.
So why was Gary
based-
Neville the best right back in world football then? If you haven't watched all of football, you have to. Yeah.
No, because he's playing for the team.
It's
He's played 50 games for the team that season that's won everything.
Yeah.
Fair to assume that he's
Yeah. But
like, you know, when you go Carl
Fergie
Walker's
had a
best.
system. Giggs-
Why do you think Carl
Giggs-
Walker's best? Because he won everything that year.
Yeah, but Carl Walker was doing things on a higher level. Gary Neville would say to himself he was limited as right back. I'm not wrong in saying that, am I?
He has said it.
But
He said it
Paul
before.
Scholes says he wasn't great, but he's obviously one of the greatest midfielders ever.
Also, Gary Neville's
It's only
opinion
started
isn't.
from saying Eden Hazard as a single player in his prime was
Not better than Ryan Giggs.
Like he was. What he could do with the ball was mesmeric.
Not better than Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs had about
So
three
who do you
primes.
think's a better player, Mesut Ozil, Ryan Giggs?
I'm just saying there's an art. It started from
Yeah, of
Robert
course it's
Pires.
different. But okay,
Sanchez,
Mesut
Giggs, all close.
Mesut Ozil, Ryan Giggs. If you
I've
had to
never
pick-
said Mesut Ozil.
No, I'm asking you. Mesut
No, I
Ozil,
don't think
Ryan
Mesut
Giggs.
Ozil reached the levels and carried the team the same way Alexis Sanchez did from the left for Arsenal.
So you would have Alexis Sanchez.
They were both as
You'd have
responsible for
Yeah,
that
he
bit
did
of
things
form.
single-handedly, Sanchez, that Ozil didn't do.
No, he didn't do things.
Ozil was more of a luxury player. in my
Ozil,
opinion.
Sanchez, they were
What?
both.
I didn't even say Ozil, by the way.
Let's reflect to the Arsenal fan. Ozil, Sanchez were both banging at the same time, right?
Yeah, they both. But Sanchez
Sanchez
did have
was
more.
better.
But Sanchez did have more.
Sanchez better, though.
Sanchez
Wait,
did have more.
But without Ozil, Sanchez don't have the
Sanchez is the
freedom and all
best.
that.
Sanchez
that he
is the
did.
best player of the Emirates era for Arsenal. Maybe that's changed a bit this season, but
Sanchez banged for us on the left. He banged for us up top of that season. He went up top, got 20 goals as well. I know it's out of position, but
It's Ryan Giggs in it on the left.
we're both saying Perez, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going Perez.
we have to leave it to the comments.
Ryan Giggs.
I mean, it's crazy to me that we're not just going Giggs here.
It's Ryan Giggs.
Is
We've
Giggs.
got to have one for the comments, man. Come on.
Yeah, one for the comments.
We leave in a
but
position
on the
for the
graphic.
comments.
We're going to put Ryan Giggs.
Hey, Jack, don't let that.
If the subscribers of the club are who I think they are, Giggs wins.
Yeah, but the
this
last
in
two
a
videos,
landslide.
they all agree with me. So,
Pardon?
the last two videos, they agree with me about what was the Haaland shout or something? What was it?
And the central midfield.
These guys are neutrals, what I'm saying. They're neutral fans on
the
the
central
club.
midfield is without doubt Keane and Scholes.
No way.
Vieira's better than...
Come on, Adam.
Vieira's better
Greatest
than Keane.
partnership
Nah,
the Premier League's
come
ever
on.
seen.
Vieira's not better than Keane.
What?
He said Vieira's better than Keane.
Oh, come on.
Vieira's not better than Keane.
He is.
He's not.
He's
He is.
not. If he was,
He's
he wouldn't
not.
have got
If he
slapped
was,
so many
he's
times.
not. Vieira weren't better
I'd rather have
than Keane.
Vieira than Keane. on my side.
Vieira's a better
That's
footballer.
because you
than
did
Keane.
have Vieira in your side.
He's fantastic. Oh, his legs are gone. Alan Hansen said it. Alan Hansen said it.
But listen, I've also admitted in the past that I edge it to Keane. But I'm partly out.
I love that Buvey's making a case on his
No,
own.
I have said it.
Nah, fuck it, Keane, man.
No, but you know what
I
it
like
is.
to Celtic as well.
You know what it is with Roy Keane. Again, he's done it year in, year out, year in, year
I
out.
gave you some ammunition,
But-
man.
but-
They win 5-1, he starts chatting shit.
But
man.
for me, it's Vieira Keane.
Yeah, Vieira Keene.
For me,
I
it's
love that.
Vieira
No,
Keane.
I love that.
Keane.
Buvey went, I'm convinced. Imagine Vieira is better than Keane. Turkish
my
went, I
opinion.
think it's Keane. He
Right.
went, what?
In my opinion,
You know, but Roy Keane is the best
It has-
captain in
for
Premier League
balance.
history.
Yeah, yeah.
If we're doing
Best
balance,
captain.
Second best.
if we're doing balance,
Keane, Adams, Terry.
if we're doing balance, it has to be Keane or Vieira, which is Keane, and Scholes or Fabregas, which is Scholes.
Is Fabregas your other...
I don't think so though, because you can have Roy Keane as the destroyer, and you can have Vieira as the box to box.
Who would be your other suggestion if you're putting two midfielders forward? It's tricky,
Scholes.
isn't it?
No, Arsenal.
Arsenal
Yeah.
midfielder.
Is it Fabregas? Is Fabregas the best in a modern
It's
era?
a shame that Petit didn't have longer because Petit was class.
You know,
for the-
Petit
for
could
the 2
easily be
years he
Chelsea's
was with us.
worst ever central midfielder.
Yeah, he came to you when it was. He came to us,
Shit.
97, 98 double. He was in team of the season in Premier League the year after. He was an integral, but
Vieira
then
has to
Barca
be in.
came and.
I say
Vieira's not better than
I say Vieira, and there's
not like that. It's
outcries
not
if I
just
said
not better.
No, there
Rory
wasn't an
Delap
outcry.
has to get in.
There wasn't an outcry.
Yeah, from you there was.
the outcry-
Rewatch the tape.
The-
Rewatch the tape now.
No,
He
the
went,
out- the-
Vieira, as if
the
I was talking
outcry-
about
No, Booth, the
Lee
outcry
Trundle.
came. The outcry came because I found it very comical.
Yeah.
That you made this sort of grand
Yeah,
statement.
yeah. I'll do it to
And in,
wind up
and in
Banner.
Turkish
Yeah, yeah.
went, nah. You're like,
But Vieira has to be one of the two.
He has to. That's for me. He has to. He has to be Vieira.
I don't think he
Keane.
does. I honestly think if I were doing this, I think
Off the
that
ball, Vieira's
I think that
better
Roy Keane,
defensively. Big goals.
Roy Keane definitely gets in. You're not leaving Paul Scholes out.
Why not?
Why?
Because who's better than Paul
How
Scholes?
can you leave Vieira out?
Is
Vieira's
Vieira a better
better than Scholes
midfielder than Paul Scholes?
Different.
Nope.
You could argue yes.
Is Vieira a better midfielder than
yes.
Paul Scholes?
Yes.
If you want
We have to
balance
have
in
one
your
of them,
team,
Ross.
it's Keane and
Why?
Scholes.
Because he's iconic.
When you
When you think back at Premier League all-time 11s, Vieira's the first name on the
If you
team
do a combined
sheet.
11, if I did a combined 11 of Man City and Stoke, it's going to be 11 Man City players. It doesn't have to be balanced.
But this
it's
is
just
Arsenal
who's
Football
better.
Club. This isn't Stoke City. It's Arsenal Football Club. Vieira's
and the
their
best-
greatest midfielder ever.
Vieira would get into most combined 11s.
Yeah.
He would get into most 11s. But he doesn't get in over Scholes or
The issue
Roy
is that when
Keane.
we do Arsenal, with all due respect, you've only won 3 titles in 33
Exactly.
years. But that's not a game. I'm talking about the level I've seen is that we can't just do longevity. Otherwise, it's the 99 side. I refuse to do combined 11s with just longevity.
You're the only one that
bringing-
keeps mentioning longevity. You're the only one.
You're
the only one that says longevity.
You're
We had a good
doing
discussion
the
about
straw
Lorraine.
man argument. You're going, I'm not having you lot
No,
talking about
honestly.
longevity. Like, nobody is.
No one
but
said longevity once.
Vieira as a midfielder was complete. He has to be one of the
Complete,
two.
he was.
Has to.
Okay, so who are you
It's
dropping?
Keane and Scholes.
Hang on, Booth, who are you dropping? What's the midfield?
Keane and Vieira for me.
Keane and
So no
Vieira.
Paul Scholes?
Keane and Vieira.
It's Keane and Scholes.
Keane and Vieira.
How are you leaving Paul Scholes out of a midfield?
I'd rather a midfield of Vieira and Scholes than Keane and Vieira. But it's Keane and
Part of the
Scholes.
bus with both of them. That's great.
Both, by the way, Vieira and Keane were very good footballers. I think that goes under the radar a bit because people see them
never forgotten
flying
that they're
into
great
tackles and
footballers. No,
stuff
they're
like
fantastic
that.
footballers.
It's Keane and Scholes.
I think it's Keane and Scholes. I mean,
I think the best footballer of the three is Vieira, though.
better than Scholes.
Scholes
All
is the
round,
best
yes.
footballer.
All-round footballer, yeah.
You
Scholes
what?
is the
Can
best
Scholes take it from one box to the other,
Vieira's
flicking it
considered the
over a
greatest
man?
Premier League midfielder of all
No, but
time.
Keane
man.
can. Remember when he dumped 2 on your head at Highbury?
The Keane can. But we're talking overall.
Overall ability.
Vieira is the most. Vieira is the most complete.
You're a joke, mate.
Vieira is the most
If you ask a
complete.
Premier League fan, if you ask a Charlton Athletic fan, they say Vieira is the greatest midfielder
No,
in
they
the history of
wouldn't.
the Premier League.
No, they
Yes, they
wouldn't.
would.
They'd say
There's a
Scott
big
Parker.
argument.
They wouldn't.
But,
they say Scott Parker. They say John Dal Thomason.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know what I'm trying to
Keane
say.
and Scholes, man.
You can't talk about Vieira as if he's some dusty guy.
No,
I
no
think
one said
anyone
that.
who
You are, you
No one
both
said
are.
that.
Mate, nobody
Rewatch
is-
the highlights of how you reacted when
The
I said
only
Vieira.
complete
Come on.
midfielder since or before Vieira it was Yaya Toure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rodri.
I mean, complete. Now, Rodri's not as, but
Rodri.
Yaya's complete.
Yeah, for sure.
How has this been an Arsenal Man United debate and he's mugged himself off?
I've not mad myself off. You're both crying with your VHSs. You go home at
You know
night,
what
watch your
that was like when you said
VHSs.
Rodri?
You brush the dust
Remember
off
when
and you
that
watch
Arsenal
your
girl
VHSs from
shouted Saka
1987.
out when we were talking about
Go watch your
Rodri?
VHSs from 1987. All right, go do it. Watch Wimbledon highlights on 1992.
Man.
Go for it.
You got bad.
His head's gone
Nah,
again.
I'm with you,
Vieira's
dude.
better than-
I'm with you,
head gone
dude.
again.
Vieira better than Scholes. I'll take it.
Waka, waka,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
50 million down the drain. Booby's head gone again.
That's fine. Go for it. Vieira's better than both your lads.
I honestly don't think. I think Patrick Vieira is a Premier League great. I think he's an Arsenal great. I think in most combined 11s, I go Vieira before any other. If you were doing this with any other midfield, I go Vieira. Vieira first name on a team sheet. Just not this one.
It's Keane and Scholes.
It's Keane and Vieira.
It's Keane and Vieira.
How's Paul Scholes not in this team?
It's
Because Vieira had more
again,
about
it's
him.
split again.
It's split again.
Looks like he has to
Vieira
go
had
to
a
a
better
vote.
international record, by the
So
way,
who
than
are we
Scholes.
putting up to the vote for the OG? Scholes and Vieira.
yeah.
Everyone's saying Keane.
Scholes or Vieira?
I'll tell you
Yes,
what I'll do.
yeah,
I'll tell you what I'm
Scholes or
going to do.
Vieira,
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it on social media right now.
All right.
I'll tell you the answer by the time we get to the end of the video.
Love- And you know what? He's got.
They're all Chelsea
I don't know
fans.
about
no,
your
but
community.
not Chelsea fans. If I do,
No Chelsea fans.
if I do it, it's bad. And
Yeah.
if Turkish
Let
does
me do it
it's
then,
bad.
because I'm the most
Yeah,
neutral and I've got the most
You've got
reasonable
the most
people on Twitter.
10-year-olds following
Who's
you.
a better player?
10-year-olds? My demographic's 35 to 40.
Who's a better player? help me ASAP. Who's a better player? Help me.
I love it. Roy's going
No,
to
no,
Twitter
you've
to
got
get
to
the
say
answer. What is this?
it's
Who wants to be a
combined 11.
millionaire? Get help. Got
How
his
do-
mate
how
on
do
the
I
phone.
think?
Got his mate on the phone.
Who's-
I'm gonna call
who's
my
the
mate.
combined
up now.
11? Who's the
Oi,
part-
Dave.
What's the vote?
Yo, Dave, who's better, Vieira or Scholes? Roy's getting his mates on Twitter.
ASAP.
Oi, Dave, who's better, Vieira or Scholes?
Right.
Yeah,
we
see,
move on
you
to
can-
the front two.
What's
And
it?
there's a lot of people you could mention for this. Ruud van Nistelrooy, Nicholas Anelka, all these different players. But I think it's a tap-in, isn't it, for two players. Eric Cantona should also be mentioned, and I would like to put Eric Cantona in But Wayne Rooney and Thierry Henry is the front two, isn't it?
I was going to go Henry and Bergkamp.
I was going on
You're
Rooney
an
Bergkamp.
You're an idiot.
I was
All
going.
right. I'm going Rooney and Cantona. Fuck it. I was being nice.
Rory,
and
tweet this to
neutral.
your mates. Rory or Bergkamp or Henry or Rooney or Van Nistelrooy.
I said Rooney or Cantona.
Oh, Rooney or Cantona.
It's Rooney, Cantona. I'm not going to be.
Help me here.
I'm going to be
ASAP.
biased. now.
Combined 11, Arsenal, Manchester United. Who's the partner for? Who's a midfield partner for Roy Keane?
He's still on the.
Right, I'm going to tweet that as well.
Which one you
Let's
did?
do a fair social experiment. I'm going to tweet exactly what Rory's
And I'll do poll length. I can't do it less than a day. I was going to do
All
it.
length.
Poll length.
Boy.
Pause.
But you can't get if you
Retweet
lose it, Rory, you can't get it deleted. If you lose the
If you lose
debate,
it,
don't get it deleted.
If you lose
'Cause
it,
we've had
don't
clips
get it
before.
deleted.
You've got them
No,
deleted.
you're
When
a
they
bad.
go your way.
You're a
When they
bad.
go your way,
You're
you
a
get
bad.
deleted.
You're a
So
bad. You're bad for
Let's
this.
keep it on Twitter.
You're bad.
What
for
was the
this.
thing you got deleted when you got the debate wrong? What was it? Bale versus Geese. You got that deleted, didn't you?
Did it go up?
Yeah, it got put up. So I don't know, but keep the poll up.
Conspiracy.
Trust me.
Conspiracy.
So we got the poll going for the midfielders.
Let's do Bergkamp Henry.
It's not.
I'm saying Bergkamp. I'm saying Bergkamp.
They linked up better.
Do you know Bergkamp? What Arsenal fans think Bergkamp is, Eric Cantona is that.
I
Eric Cantona is
agree in
everything
a
Arsenal
sense.
fans think Bergkamp is. He took the league with him everywhere he went. He was a leader. He wasn't scared to get on a plane. He
the
scored
issue, innit?
countless goals. Like every time he won the league title, he was there. And then when he was suspended, we didn't win it. He was the influence. And I even went against that and I went, you know what? Let's put Rooney and Henry because it seems to be fair. But then I got man saying Bergkamp and Henry.
But you have to, let me bring it back to midfield though. You said the chemistry between Keane Scholes is the reason why. So Henry Bergkamp, there is no partnership in Premier League history.
Rooney's twice the
apart
player
from
Bergkamp.
Cole York that you might be able to put in there and partner.
Yeah, what about the chemistry then?
Rooney has to be in
you
this
said
team. We know
Keane
that,
Scholes
right?
for the chemistry.
And Henry has to be in
But
this
you said
team.
Keane Scholes for the chemistry.
But we know that. No, what I said was you're going to
Bergkamp and Henry had chemistry,
No.
no?
If you remember the question that I had was, it's going to be either Keane or Vieira and
Yeah.
either Scholes or Fabregas.
Yeah, but you were
for
go-
balance.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I said.
Okay.
So I didn't say for chemistry. It's not ultimate team we're playing.
So what we doing then? Henry's 30 and it's
Rooney
or
and then Henry. It
Bergkamp.
has to be, innit?
Bergkamp for me.
Bergkamp over
Mate,
Rooney.
Bergkamp and Rooney aren't in the same conversation.
Because they're very different players.
Hang on.
Bergkamp
What's
was
happening here?
the
I've just
provider
back
for
in.
Brighton.
We're leaving Rooney out of this combined
I
11.
started this conversation.
Is that what you're now doing?
Oh, Bergkamp.
I'll switch you off for 2 seconds whilst I do
Get
my
the
Twitter.
poll up again. There's a new one
I'm
going.
going to copy the
Whilst
tweet.
I do my tweet,
Okay, you do that. I'm going to copy the
I've
tweet.
just heard. I've just like tuned back in. Are you telling me that Rooney's not in this team?
Rooney's in this team.
Because I don't think we could put
But
this
you
video
are
live.
also one that said Keane Scholes because of the balance. What about Henry Bergkamp?
Don't gaslight me. I didn't say that. Literally
It
didn't
came
say
from
that.
over this side. I don't know.
This whole channel's gaslighting. Roy gaslights me. I gaslight Adam. We all gaslight each
Just
other.
roundabout.
He's telling me that I bang on about longevity. I haven't
You
said
do. You bang on about your VHSs, mate. Wimbledon from 1989.
That was amazing. You said it so convincingly as well. You said it's about balance. I was like, I don't think I did.
So what did you say it's about? Okay.
I just picked the 2 best players in the position. I literally just picked the 2 best players in the position.
I think the notable mentions are Bergkamp, are Cantona, are Van Nistelrooy, all them. But it has to be Rooney and Henry.
Let's do it the way you done it before and say Henry or Rooney or Bergkamp or Cantona. For balance.
Yeah.
What?
For balance.
Wait,
But Rooney can do everything Bergkamp
Yeah, but
can do. and more.
which Rooney
you
we
lot
picking
can make
though?
a mountain out of
Whatever
a
one you
molehill.
want.
The 20
Sometimes
goal,
in
the
life,
20
you can
goal.
have a really easy life. Do you want a really easy life here? Like, honestly, I've got a cigar, I can have a whiskey, I'm on a deck chair, right? I am honestly on the Costa del Sol. This is the easiest thing known to man. The answer is Rooney and Thierry Henry.
Thank you.
And if you went the next rung down,
If you-
it's Cantona and Bergkamp.
Which
and if
Rooney?
you went the next rung down, it's
Which Rooney? Which
Wayne
Rooney?
Rooney.
No, which
Martin Rooney.
which version of Rooney are you putting up top?
Whatever one you want.
Because he's had 2 20-goal seasons. That's the out-and-out striker seasons. Or
You're saying hair transplant, hair transplant or post?
But I don't know which Rooney. Because if you're putting in support striker Rooney, there's an argument for Bergkamp here. There's a
Rooney
strong
can do everything
argument.
that Bergkamp could and more.
Could he?
Yes.
Lads, it's the 2 that we
Rooney
just
didn't have the
mentioned.
guile
The
that
next one
Bergkamp
down is more of a debate, right? So say you do first sub for the centre forwards, Bergkamp or Cantona.
That's Cantona. It's Cantona.
Imagine Rooney off the bench.
Rooney's not a
yeah.
bench player.
Yeah.
But imagine him off the bench.
Rooney's not on the
I
bench.
do. I'm Van Nistelrooy off
What
the
do you-
bench.
what's your
Rooney
front two
Henry,
be?
man.
Bergkamp Henry.
Bergkamp Henry, no Rooney.
Mate, their link-up play was outrageous.
You see this?
I'm going Rooney
the
Cantona.
chemistry here.
You two are like
Chemistry.
Walker Cole, man.
I'm going Rooney Cantona then if we're going to be stupid.
I
They
mean,
never played together, Adam.
can I
don't
just
care.
be the only? Can I just be the only sensible person in the room, which is really rare, really rare. I'm the voice of reason here. It's quite obviously Wayne Rooney and Thierry Henry. It's like in other news,
This doesn't even deserve a vote. It's Rooney and Henry.
it's Rooney and Henry.
So that's you two. What's yours?
Henri Bergkamp.
Oh, Henri Bergkamp.
Can't be. Are you all right?
Maybe a Nelka.
Why'd you keep on asking him?
Yeah, don't ask me. He's the Arsenal fan, man. We roped him in. They finally beat in City 5-1.
Even Bergkamp would have put himself
They've
in.
celebrated coming
Now
second.
he's asking you, are you all right?